forget what the Bible says about our history. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. Because it's evident our people are going through many things in this world. Right? It's almost like we are cursed people. Right. It's like we can't get out of the ghettos. We can't get out of the drug addictions. We can't get off of alcohol. We can't stop murdering each other. It's like our people are cursed. Right? Generational curses. We talk about generational wealth, but let's see what God says. Read this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. Hey, brother, what's going on with you? Come deal with me real quick. What's happening with you, bro?
I'm walking with the Lord right now.
Right, brother, the Lord right here. This where the Lord coming out at right now.
I am.
Bring it out. Come on. Come deal with me, bro. Read it again. This is what God say about our people because we rebellious. Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
What's happening with you, bro, man? Come deal with me real quick. What's your name, bro? Tommy? What's happening? My bad. I didn't mean to go that hard at you. So now, we out here because we showing our people that we the children of Israel according to the Bible.
Right.
You ever heard of the Israelites before? So now, what you need to know is that your history is documented in the Bible. Your people are documented in the Bible. So I'm going to show you how that is the case. So let me show you how we know that we are the children of Israel. You ever read the Bible before? Have you ever been told that the Bible is the white man's book? No? Have you ever been told that Christ is a black man? Right. So now let me get Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3 real quick. So God says that we are people that are lost and that we must return back to our true heritage by reading this Bible. So stick with me for a minute real quick. All right. So let's read this real quick. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. Let's see what God says.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3.
Come on.
The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master crib.
An ox and an ass are two animals. God compares his people to two animals. They know who provides for them. Okay? They know who take care of them. All right, read.
But Israel does not know.
But Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't know who our God is. We don't know who truly provides for us. Right? Right now we go to the so-called white man for everything.
Right.
So let's read.
My people does not consider.
Right. Neither do we consider who our God is. We carried away with every type of doctrine. We into Christianity. We into Islam. We into 5%ers. We into Egyptology. We into all kind of madness. But yet we talk about coming together. How can we come together when our minds are in so many different places? So we are a lost people. Let me get Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what God says about his people and who he's coming to redeem. So let me get that. Matthew 15 verse 24.
The book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24.
Come on.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Now, is it safe to say, with all that being said, that we are a lost people? With us going into many different religions and philosophies and wanting to know so many different things, it's safe to say we lost, right?
Yeah.
Right, you agree with that?
Yeah.
So now, God says he has sent his son, Jesus Christ, the black Messiah, to the lost sheep of Israel. Read it again.
The book of Matthew chapter 15 and 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right, so we are lost. So now we must bring the remembrance of who we are so we can find who we are. All right, so now give me the book of John chapter 14 and verse 26. God says this has to come back to our remembrance. The remembrance of who we are, that we are the Israelites. That we shouldn't be out here gang banging, selling drugs, killing each other, but actually returning to who we are. Then that's the purpose of why we out here. Read that.
The book of John chapter 14 and verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things.
Shall do what?
Teach you all things.
No, we need to go to Egyptology. We need to go to white man Christianity to learn. No, God says he's going to send you brothers that's going to teach you the right way. Read.
And bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you.
So now, what I want to bring to your remembrance is our history. What do you know about our enslavement, us being enslaved as a people? What do you know? Not too much. Tell me the little that you know then. They was beating us.
Yes.
What else?
Killing us.
Killing us. Hanging us.
We were not able to go to the same schools as
Not the same schools. Okay. What about slave plantations? What was that like?
My grandma was there. She was back there.
Your grandma? Okay, so right. So we pick cotton, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now, how did we get to this side of the world? Ships, right? Yep. So now you see it's documented here. That's what the signs are for. Take a look. All right. So now we're going to read this history out of the Bible, and this is how we're going to come back to remembering who we are based off our history. And I'm glad you know the little that you know, because most people don't care to know their history. All right. So now let's read Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. Because now this Bible is written to Israel. All right, stick with me, bro. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, with us being lost, now, is it also safe to say we are cursed people? Right? Yeah. Explain to me why you think we curse. Explain. Think about it. You out here, you know the streets. How old you is, bro? You're 23. So where you from?
Chicago.
You from Chicago. Me too. So you know the streets. You know what's going on, right? So now, think about it. Why would we be considered cursed as a people today? We dying, killing each other, right? Yep. Got drugs in the community.
Yep. A lot of bad drugs that's supposed to be here.
Right. Abortion clinics.
Yep.
Right. Police coming in our communities and things like that. So now, God said we will be cursed as a people. All right. So now, if we did not keep his commandments, we will be cursed as a people. All right. And that's what this history is going to explain about the 12 tribes of Israel right here. All right. So now, read it again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Read the next verse. Now, you said that your great grandma knew about the plantations, right? Now that we're going to read it in the Bible. Read this.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Cursed shalt thou be where?
In the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Cursed shalt thou be where?
Cursed shall thou be in the field.
Cursed shalt thou be in the field. So the result of us being on a sugarcane plantations, tobacco plantations, cotton plantations, we was cursed, working 20 to 24-hour days damn near. You understand? Sun beaming down on us, being whipped because we wouldn't pick fast, right? That is a curse.
Right.
And that is our history according to the Bible. You understand that? Now read it one more time.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Cursed shalt thou be where?
In the city.
What is it like in Chicago? It's bad, right? You got drill music going all over the place. Huh? That's why you move, right? That's why my parents decided to move. To look for a better place for us. And that's the thing. We always looking for a better place, but we can't find it. We can't find it. Guess what? Because when we move, we take the same mentality of hatred towards one another with us. Right. Because guess what? That same murderous spirit is in this city of St. Paul and in Minneapolis. My man's neck. Huh? Never seen this before? Never seen that before. Okay. So now, let's read Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Come on over, family. Come on over. This is important history. We're talking about our history. This is important history. What's going on, bro, man? What's going on, sister? Y'all come on up. Come on up. All right, read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, It ain't one of all things.
So the Bible just said we would serve our enemies. What does that mean? To be a servant. Say it again. Doing anything anybody says. So meaning slave masters, right? We would be slaves. And now who are we slaves to? The white man, right? So now read it again.
Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies.
He said you will be slaves to your enemies. Who is our enemy today? The police? Is it just the police? Because guess what? Who sits in the jury? Who sits in the jury when it's time to convict the black man to give him 100 years of life?
Right.
White people too. Right? So God just said that guess what? Your enemy is the so-called white man.
That's right.
Those who enslaved us. You understand that? Now, because now today, guess what? We want to sleep with Caucasians. We want to marry them. You understand? But God say they're your enemy.
Right.
Even to this very day, because we're still in captivity. Hold that. Give me that in Baruch. Yet this day in our captivity in Baruch. 3 and 8, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's get that real quick. Because we don't think that we're still captive. We think that we're free. We think that we don't have enemies. But instead, we look at ourselves as enemy. Because guess what? Many of our people are in gangs on this block, right? And if other oppositions come on this block, guess what? It's war. It's war. But why? We look like one another. We look like one another, and we kill each other. We go hard against each other. We are ruthless and merciless towards each other.
Right.
We still in captivity, brother. That's captivity. So let's read this.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, and verse 8.
Come on.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
He said, we are yet this day slaves in America, right? So now, go back to Deuteronomy 28. We are yet this day in captivity. Brothers and sisters, we are not free. We are still in captivity. Right. We are still paying the repercussions of what God said will come upon us. The curses of Deuteronomy 28 to the children of Israel. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So he said we would serve the so-called white man, our enemies, for the want of all things. Our way of life. You want food and water. You want clothing to cover your body.
Right.
You have to go and get from the so-called white man.
Right.
You understand me on that? That's what the Bible just said. Do we do that today? Let me ask you this. Do we own fabric and textile companies where we can make our own clothes? Or do we got to go somewhere else and get it? Got to go somewhere else to get it, right? Do we own water wells and things like that? No, they can shut our water off at the drop of a dime.
Right.
All right. So we don't run anything. So read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
God said the enemy, the so-called white man, will put a yoke of iron on our necks.
Right.
On our ancestors' necks. Did this not happen? So what we're showing you is biblical prophecy.
Right.
So now, what is the yoke of iron? It's the chains on your neck.
Bring it out.
It's the chains on your neck. You follow? Read that part again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right. So until we were destroyed where? Where do you think we destroyed at? Because we still living as a race of people, bro. What's your name again? Tommy, right? Okay, so Tommy, how are we destroyed today? We still live here physically, right? So how are we destroyed? Where do you think we destroyed at?
I don't know.
Mentally.
Right.
We're mentally destroyed. We're mentally destroyed as a race of people. We don't know who we truly are. Right? We have many different religions and denominations that our people are in, all coming from white supremacy, Christianity, right? Because guess what? The slave masters were Christians.
Right.
Christianity is the most bloodiest religion in the world.
Right.
You understand? They subdued us and put us in submission and obedience to white man Jesus through force and violence and bloodshed.
Right.
You understand? So now they took the chains off our necks because we were destroyed mentally. What's going on, sir? How you doing? Say it again. The Bible talks about regeneration. Okay, so now that's a deep question. I'll show you that in a minute. But first and foremost, what I want to help you understand first is your nationality. So far, give me Deuteronomy 1:1 real quick, because right now I need you to identify that this is our history, right? So we just read this. What did we read in the Bible? I want to see if you follow. What did we read so far? We read about what? I'll give you a hint. Cursed in the city, right? What else? Where else? Think about your grandma, great grandma. Cursed in the field, right? What else? What about this? Yokes of iron on our necks, right? Chains on our necks. What's going on, bro? Stick around, bro. Because, like, yeah, that's the thing. Many of our people don't want to hear it. And they have no idea what they're missing out on. So now, let me show you this real quick. Hold on, let me show you this real quick. Now, give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. How did we get over here? By ships. Now, we're going to read that in the Bible. Oh, no, you was holding Deuteronomy 1 and 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Come on up, family, come on up. These be the words which Moses spake to all Israel. We showing, yes, we showing, grab your family. Come on up, family. We showing our people that we are Israel. So again, brother, these be the words, Tommy, these be the words which Moses spake to all Israel, right? All Israel. So now God said Israel would be cursed in the city, cursed in the field, will have yokes of iron on our necks, right? So now let's read how Israel got into slavery. So let's read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
God said the children of Israel were going to Egypt again with ships. Egypt again with ships. So we're going to see what the word Egypt means. Because according to the history, the children of Israel were slaves under Pharaoh in Egypt.
Right.
You understand? Building up treasure cities of Ramses. Okay, so now let's read.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.
Come on.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Read it one more time for Tommy.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So what did God just call the land of Egypt? The house of what? The house of bondage. What's another word for bondage? Look at your flyer. This one. The biggest word on that flyer. The biggest word on that flyer. Slavery.
That's right.
Bondage and slavery is the same thing. So when he's saying I'm going to send you into Egypt again, he's saying I'm going to send you into what? Again. Now let's read on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
What did he just say? I want you to fill it in for me. He said, I will send you into what? Again? All praise to the Most High. You follow. He follows. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
And there you should be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
Now, Brother Tommy, were we not sold unto our enemies when we got off the slave ships? We were. So who history reading? Our history, right? But who is God talking to? Who God talking to again? What nation of people in the Bible is God talking to again? Give me that again. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Let's see who he talking to again. It's our history, but he talking to somebody in the Bible. And it's helping us identify who we are. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who is God talking to? So who are we? So who are we? Israel. Yes. Now, I want you to look at this sign right here. Come on over, family. Come on over. All right, we're talking about our history in the Bible. So, where do you see yourself on this sign? Because these are the 12 tribes of Israel, according to the Bible. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Come on up. Come on up. All right, we're talking about the Word of God and our history in the Bible as the Israelites. All right, so now, where do you see yourself on this sign, Tommy? American Black. What do you see next to American Black? No, what do you see right here? Judah. That's right. So Judah is a God-given nationality. Not African-American, not Black, not Negro, not West Indian, not Haitian, not Dominican. Those are all names that our oppressors who colonized and enslaved us put upon us. You understand? So you would be from the tribe of Judah according to the Bible. You understand? Give me Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Because again, many people say this is the white man's book, but yet so far we're reading our history out of it. Y'all have questions? What's going on? All praise to the Most High. So come on up. We here for y'all edification. Jeremiah 14 verse 2. Let's read this real quick.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourning.
Judah. Who's Judah again? The so-called American blacks. The blacks is the so-called American blacks. All right, read.
In the gates their language, they are black unto the ground.
Hold on, what color is Judah?
They are black unto the ground.
The Bible just said that Judah, the Jews, are black unto the ground, because guess what? God formed us out of the ground.
That's right.
So it's black. You understand? So now, if God says the Bible, if God says in the Bible that the Jews are black, who's in your land today? The false people. People who stole your identity, who stole your nationality. Because you are a real Jew according to the Bible.
That's
you are
right.
from the tribe of Judah. And so is Christ.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word.